The peace that you want requires you to let certain things go. I know that I've done a video about this a little bit, but I wanted to tap on this again. Maybe it's just because of the season that I'm in, and I've been having to let things go and not allow fear to keep me complacent, or not allow my comfort zone to keep me in places that I have outgrown. Sometimes you have to surrender and stop fighting and stop swimming against the currents, right? Sometimes you just gotta get you a surfboard and just lay on it and just flow with the currents. Sometimes we do more harm by holding on and trying to fight the fight than we do with simply letting go. We hold on to things for different reasons, like I was stating, like maybe you're comfortable here. Maybe you don't know what things look like outside of that comfort zone. Maybe you don't know what they feel like. Maybe you are concerned with what your family may think. Maybe you're concerned what, I don't know, anybody may think. Maybe it's your job. Maybe that job has been your stability and you're afraid to take that leap of faith because you don't know what's on the other side of that. And I think that with surrendering comes faith. And I don't think that faith and fear can coexist. Although, we'll say that we have faith, but then we don't really fully take our hands off of things. We're still working, trying to fix and put things together and problem solve. But if you really put it in God's hands, source, the divine, whatever you address the highest power as, I think that you do your part in what you can do, and then you really relax into that trust. So oftentimes, the wilderness is a real place. It is a real place. You can be in the wilderness for however long you want to hold on to things that no longer serve you, because you're going to keep repeating that cycle. And the only way to break that cycle is to do something different. Usually the directions that we go in that are in alignment with us comes with peace. There's no hesitation. It's almost like a feeling that you could feel it in your gut of what it is that you're supposed to do. But for whatever reason, maybe you're afraid of disappointing somebody. Maybe again, you're afraid that your stability is in question. But deep down, somewhere within you, in your gut, in your womb, exactly what it is that you're supposed to do, and in exactly what direction that you're supposed to go in. And sometimes we look for confirmation of what we already know. We look outside of ourselves for what we already know. And I myself am so guilty of doing this. I just had to walk away from a job because of my mental health. And that job, for the longest time, y'all, it was draining, I felt at first, but within this last year, it had gotten to be so just beyond, not even just uncomfortable. I'm talking about to the point to where at night, before I go to bed, I'd be thinking I gotta go to work tomorrow. Then I couldn't sleep because I knew I had to go to work. And the level of stress that I was under with that place was so unhealthy. And I was just thinking dang, this is my livelihood, right? This is how I pay my bills. This is how I can't leave this job. I have a family that depends upon me to perform. I can't leave this job. What am I going to do? But I kept hearing over and over, and sometimes I would go look for it, right? But sometimes I would watch maybe and look I was reading a message. My editor actually just texted me. I got to send her the video. I was supposed to have it to her yesterday. Y'all, it's been a lot, but I say all that to say, I had to allow myself to get out of my comfort zone. I had to just say, you know what, here is comfortable, but am I really living? Am I really thriving? Or am I settling? Am I just allowing this job to pull everything away from me? And the answer was yes. And then it started to be, well, what about your credit? Well, what about your bills? What about this? What about that? And that's where the faith had to come in I've been at this job for the last 7 years. I've been in the wilderness for the last 7 years. I have made a lot of statements. I have wanted to do more, but I have not positioned myself to do more because of me being in my comfort zone. But how much more of my time and energy can I waste investing it in a place that I know that will not yield me the return that I desire? And I have, even in the past, stayed in relationships that I knew, like, I gotta get up out of here, but feeling like I didn't know when was the right time. I didn't know how me leaving was going to impact the person that I was leaving. So I was willing to stay well past the time that I wanted to stay. And it just, with everything, you have this moment of, how much longer can I keep doing this? How much more time am I going to waste? How much more stress, depression, anxiety am I going to put myself under trying to perform for people? I got to a place to where I was like, you know what? I have to choose me. No matter who it pisses off, no matter who it makes uncomfortable, no matter what anybody's opinion of me is from this decision, I have to choose me. And then I have to trust and have faith and trust God to continue to take care of me. No matter what, in all of my years of existence, God has always favored me. Truly. I remember I used to love that song too. That's a whole nother subject, but God has always truly favored me. And when I look back at the track record is more success than not. So the probability of everything being just fine is extremely high. So what am I stressed out about? What am I worried about? So often we live our lives to try to please other people, to try to make sure everybody's okay, but inside we are crying. Inside we are miserable, right? And in what benefit do you get from that? You're abandoning yourself. You're stressing yourself out. You are unhappy, right? And for what? You've never been able to pay a bill with a person's thoughts of you, with a person's opinion of you. But again, programming. That our whole lives we've been taught to what it is to love others and give out to others, but not really what it feels like to give those things to ourselves, right? We've been taught, love your neighbors as Christ loved the church. But have you been taught of how to truly love you? And I'm going to make this statement because I feel like it'll bring so much clarity. If you have a child, right? And y'all know I have kids. I look at my daughters, I don't let nobody play about them, right? Like, I don't know why I'm gonna finish up on my cycle, but it's making me like emotional just thinking about it. But it's like the way that I would protect them, the way that I would care for them, the way that I would make sure they're A-okay. Why wouldn't I provide that same thing to myself? I think we have to look at it that way. I look at my sons. I would always make sure that I take good care of my sons and take good care of my family. If they were at a job that's stressing them out, I'm gonna tell them to quit. I got you. I'm gonna take care of you. If they're in a relationship and somebody's mistreating them, get the hell out of there. I don't play about them, but for some reason we'll play about ourselves. We'll diminish and put stuff to the side and not make ourselves a priority, right? And because of my love for them, I love my kids, I love my family dearly, and I don't know why it's making me so emotional today, but anyways, my love for them and how much I love them has taught me the way that I'm also supposed to have that for me, because I can say that I have not always had that for me. And I've always thought that being kind and being, loving and sweet to everybody was the way that I was supposed to go, even if I was abandoning me to show up for others, as long as everybody else had what I needed and I didn't realize that I was putting me on the back burner. And so wisdom is knowledge applied, right? I'm finally applying the knowledge of, I gotta take care of me. I gotta take care of that little girl in me. I gotta nourish that little girl in me. I have to nurture the little girl in me and give her what she wants and get in alignment. And I think that with getting in alignment and flowing in alignment, you start to bring in the things that you actually want. You actually start to get to where you want. Maybe there's a certain type of connection that you've been dreaming of, but you're still stuck in a relationship that doesn't serve you, but you stay there. How are you ever going to get to that connection that you want? Maybe you know that there's a job that's completely draining you. It's draining you mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and they don't even pay you enough, so as well as financially, but you stay there because you're in your comfort zone. how are you ever going to get to where it is that you desire to be? You won't. The moral of the story here is choose yourself and get moving. Be consistent. Have faith. God got you. You got you. And I don't care how old you get. Everybody that's on this earth is still learning. You could be 75 years old. Guess what? You're still learning. And it's okay to implement anything at any time. It ain't never too late is the moral of the story. It's never too late to choose you. It's never too late to make yourself a priority. It's never too late to love the inner child in you. It's never too late. It's never too late. You could start at any point. It's never too late to have the things that you want to have out of life. Things that you want are waiting on you to choose you. And then those things will be available to you. All right, y'all. I done ran my mouth for long enough. So I will definitely see y'all in the next video. We will see y'all next week. We are 16 days. My birthday is in 16 days. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Toodles.